What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video from the 10-7 MMA channel. And I just got finished watching this amazing interview on Paper with Anthony Smith of Bryce Mitchell. The point of this video is to tell everybody, and I'm going to look at the odds actually right now as I'm saying this, is to let everybody know, and I don't even care what the odds say, but to let everybody know that if you're not betting on Bryce Mitchell versus Jean Silva on April 12th, meaning if you're not betting on Bryce Mitchell to win, you're missing out massively. Now, I'm pretty positive that Bryce Mitchell is a heavy underdog here. Let me look at the odds real quick. Yeah, this is crazy. Jean Silva is a minus 375. Bryce Mitchell is a plus 295 underdog. If you're not betting on Bryce Mitchell, then I think you're missing out on potentially one of the biggest boons you could possibly have in the betting world. And I'm going to tell you why. Now, could he lose? Obviously, he's favored to lose. I mean, there's anything can happen in a fight. That's why we love this game. But I'm going to show you why I think it makes perfect sense to bet on him for this fight. Now, the first reason is coming up to this interview. Again, credit to Anthony Smith. He's talking about his training. It sounds like he's approaching the training correctly. He has mentioned that he was extremely sick when he went in to fight Ilia Topuria. He also went in to fight what was his name? Josh Emmett, with essentially no training. I'm just saying, I know people don't like excuses, but that's the truth. That's what he said. This time he's having a proper training camp. I think it's a slight short notice. Maybe it wasn't, don't think he got a full 12 weeks, but still he's getting a full training camp. And listen to what he's doing for his training regimen. This makes me very optimistic. So this is point number one, why you should bet on Bryce Mitchell.
How's it been just trying to prepare for a guy like that?
It's been real monotonous, I guess is the word, where you do the same thing over and over and over again. You know, we're just dialing in for exactly what this guy is going to do. And but I'm still having fun with it and still progressing myself. You always get better at specific things when you do that. When you focus on one opponent, you dial in on one aspect of your game. I honestly probably like post-fight training better, where I can do literally whatever I want and I'm not having specific tasks, specific positions, but there is a lot of value that you get out of focusing specifically on one task and a very few amount of positions or situations. And so that's what I'm doing right now is really just focusing on a couple things.
To me, this sounds so promising because it sounds like, first of all, he's got a carefully crafted plan and training regimen to get ready for Jean Silva. He's doing things that are not necessarily fun. I feel like that's got to be a good sign, a good indication as well. And it sounds like he's got a good game plan. Now, does this mean specifically that he's training preparing for a grappling heavy fight or a takedown specifically? I don't know exactly what he's talking about. I assume it's something along those lines, but I like the idea that he's going in there and he's doing the work that maybe is not so fun. I like that he said he even prefers that very training after a fight where he's not training for a specific opponent, and he prefers that more. But regardless, he's taking the hard approach. He's taking the hard road to get ready for this fight. Okay, so that was pretty encouraging. And we all know this is the people's main event. As stacked as the April 12th card is, this fight, for some of the right reasons, but many of the wrong reasons, everybody is so excited for this fight and to see what happens. And it's pretty interesting. And I think Bryce Mitchell, I think the odds, I don't know. My feeling is, and I'm not a professional fighter, we can ask Justin, but I think he'd agree with me. Bryce Mitchell was just training at Extreme Couture for a couple of weeks prior to this week. So I know he's been down there. I haven't asked Justin specifically how Bryce looked, but he's traveling, he's training, he's trying his hardest. I think we're going to see a brand new Bryce Mitchell and a very driven Bryce Mitchell, which brings me to point number two. This is crazy. Okay, so not only is Bryce Mitchell coming in with a great training regimen, a good lead up to get himself ready, but this goes deeper for Bryce Mitchell than simply a fight. This is a spiritual battle in his mind, and whether you or we believe him or not, he believes it. And I think that is so critical. Like, I think Anthony Smith was asking him, hey, do you feel like you're being fed to the wolves here and just led to the slaughter to basically be defeated? And I love Bryce Mitchell's response because he has this unwavering belief that regardless of what everybody thinks, what people think, what people are saying, what Dana White's saying, he believes that he is on a spiritual mission to defeat Jean Silva. I mean, what can be more powerful than that type of belief? So Habib Nurmagomedov has said, and many other fighters have said, that the mind, your mental game, is the most important thing to your success in a fight. And when you believe that this is no longer simply a battle of skill, but actually a spiritual battle, and you're fighting for the greatest good out there, man, I don't see how you could have a greater motivation. So let's check this next clip out. I think this is queued up. I can't tell if this is, no, wait, I think this might be in the wrong spot. Hold on one second.
Do you get that feeling that like you're kind of being led in there a little bit? Because that's how he's acting too.
Right. That's how I feel that I've been placed by people, but the Lord has not set me up for that. I'm telling you, the Lord has set me up for success. These people are fools to think that their plans is what's going to happen. The Lord has his plans for me, and the Lord has put me here because he knows I'm more than capable of winning. The Lord has not set me up for slaughter. I don't care what man has done to me, to betray me, to do all this evil to me, to try to get me to shut up. The Lord has set me up plans to prosper, and this is the path that he's given me, and I will prosper.
Was there
This is crazy. I don't know if you guys are grasping or feeling the same way about this as I do. What do we love as fight fans? We love sincerity. We want to see people get really invested in the fights. We love it when there's a beef on the line. No, this is beyond a beef. This is a spiritual quest that he is fully invested in. He believes that he must win, that he is fated to win, that he's been chosen to win. From the perspective of Bryce Mitchell, if you buy into this, if you're look, again, what's real is what he believes. And that's the important part. We hear these fighters, we hear Israel Adesanya, Conor McGregor, all these other, John Jones, talking about manifestation. You believe it and it comes to fruition. And this is, I feel like, the highest form of that we've ever seen. You look at Bryce Mitchell's face, look at his eyes, look at the conviction. He is 100% in the zone, in the mindset that he's going to win, that he's been chosen to win, and this is his destiny. And there's just no cap there. So I don't know. This is another reason why I feel like you just got to bet on him, and you'd be foolish not to, especially given the odds. Okay, here's the last clip. Now, this is the last part where, again, it's Bryce Mitchell making all these observations. Now, whether you want to call it coincidence or nonsensical, it doesn't matter, because it's not about that. It's about what he believes. Listen to the signs and the symbols that he has been perceiving leading up to this fight. And it just makes him believe that much more, which I feel makes him that much more of a dangerous opponent. Check this out.
Another example, the fight's on 412.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, my wife is from Pittsburgh. 412. That's the area code.
Is that the area code?
That's the area code, Pittsburgh. My son was born at 412 in the morning.
That's crazy. That's so crazy, all the signs.
Brother, the signs are everywhere. And I've asked God for signs this fight. I've been asking him. I said, God, please give me signs.
Does that give you some peace?
It does, because I know he's with me. And Joshua, before battle, he would ask for signs. All these great warriors throughout history, they would know they were going to be victorious, but they'd say, God, I'm so weak, I want signs. I want you to talk to me, God. Tell me that I'm going to be victorious. And these things are signs, brother, that I'm on the right path. Another sign. I'm sitting in the airport at Las Vegas. I hear a familiar voice. I look up, and by the way, I had just sat in this seat, and my flight had got rearranged, so we weren't supposed to be at this gate, but I go to this gate, and then I sat down in a seat, and this guy says, hey, my dad is sitting there. And I said, okay, well, when your dad gets back, I'll give him a seat back. It's like a 12-year-old kid or something. And his dad gets back. So then I moved to a different seat. So I'm at this random seat, totally wasn't going to sit here, but now I'm just sitting here. I hear a voice. I look up right in front of me. I mean, I can touch his knee. He's right in front of me. Diego Sanchez.
No kidding.
This was a weekend. Yeah, bro. And who bore the cross when they walked up to the octagon?
Yeah, that's Diego.
Sanchez.
Yeah.
God is sending me sign after sign after sign. I can't even keep up with all the signs he's giving me.
And for him to take his time to come see you. He could have just kept on walking.
Brother, he was sitting in front of me. He didn't come to see me.
Oh, that's crazy. That's even crazy. You just happened to sit there.
he happened to sit there, and I was on my phone reading scripture, bro. I was sitting there reading Bible verses, and I hear Diego's voice, and I looked up and I see Diego's face, and I
There we go. Just look at his eyes, look at his face when he's talking. There is, you don't even need me to say it, but there's no cap here. There's no wishful thinking. This is wholeheartedly what Bryce Mitchell believes. He believes every time he gets one of these signs, and actually some of those signs are pretty crazy. His child being born at 4:12 a.m., his wife being from Pittsburgh. And some people might say, hey, you're seeking out those signs. You're trying to look for connections, and that's all that's happening. It may be, it's irrelevant. The fact of the matter is that from Bryce's perspective, he is the chosen one. From Bryce's perspective, these are signs from God. From Bryce's perspective, this is his fate and his destiny, and he must go out and will go out and win. And as I've mentioned, we've heard time and again, some of the most successful, prolific fighters in the UFC talk about the power of the mind and how you have to keep it strong and you have to be confident. And once that starts to fall off and teeter off, that's when we have fighters have these mental struggles and falls from grace. And I think at this moment right now, Bryce's mind seems to be the strongest it ever has been. So to me, after listening to all this, if you're not going to bet on Bryce Mitchell, you've lost your mind. So that's it. That's what this video is about. I think Bryce Mitchell's going to win. I'm going to put money on him. There you go. Plus 295. Get it in now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you guys agree? Do you disagree? Obviously, if it's a fight, anything can happen. But I think you'd be a fool not to bet on Bryce Mitchell. Thanks, you guys, so much for joining. We'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.